When news broke that Guy Moon had passed away, a lot of people felt a strange kind of sadness they couldn't immediately explain. Many didn't recognize his name right away, but they recognized his work instantly. Guy Moon, the Emmy-nominated composer behind some of Nickelodeon's most iconic shows, died at the age of 63 after suffering traumatic injuries from a car crash in Los Angeles. His family confirmed the news and shared that he was a devoted husband and father who poured his heart into everything he created. And once people realized how deeply his music had been woven into their childhoods, the loss really started to feel personal. What makes this loss hit even harder is how quietly influential Guy Moon was. He wasn't a public figure or a household name, yet his work shaped emotions, memories, and moments for millions of people around the world. And to truly understand why his passing matters so much, it helps to look at the ways his music left a lasting mark, not just on television, but on the people who grew up with it. So, let's look at 5 impacts of Guy Moon together.
You did every episode of Fairly OddParents, everyone for 20 years. Super talented Guy Moon, the amazing composer. You did every episode of Danny Phantom plus the title.
He's a phantom.
And that's you going, he's a phantom. That's you?
Yes.
That is you? And that's Guy Moon.
That's not the guy who sang it?
No,
Wow.
Tough Puppy, everything but the title. And then Bunsen, the title and all the music on that.
Yeah.
Plus, help me write the song, My Shiny Teeth and Me.
My shiny teeth and me.
And we wrote 100 songs after that.
We did!
Yeah.
The
All
same
the-
way. It'd be either in the script or you would just send the lyrics and
Exactly.
put music to it.
The hip-hop of Danny Phantom, the jazz of Fairly OddParents.
Yeah.
How did you get to master all these different musical forms?
Well, it's because I was just so interested in music. I was in band. I played drums in high school band. I played the tuba in the high school band. I played saxophone in college. If there was an instrument, I would just go for it. Eat it up.
Yeah.
One of the biggest ways Guy Moon made an impact was through the sound of the shows themselves. He didn't just write background music, he helped give cartoons their identity. Series like The Fairly OddParents, Danny Phantom, Tough Puppy, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Cow and Chicken, and Johnny Test carried his musical fingerprints in nearly every episode.
Yo, what's going on, my dog? What's up with it, Big Joe? Why you watching the Fairly OddParents? Man, well, you know the Fairly OddParents are shit, right? Top tier as hell, used to watch that at grandma's house. So apparently the guy who composed that cartoon, Guy Moon, yeah, just passed away. What? Well, I just found out he just passed away on the 8th of January, bro. What does composer mean? Pretty much set the mood and the emotional experience of the shows and shit like that. Like the man behind the music. Oh, type shit. So he was behind the team. He is a magic king. That right there? Possibly, yeah, and the other instruments throughout the show. Yep. Nah, bro was legendary then. And he composed shows like Johnny Bravo, Big Time Rush, Ned's Declassified, that was a banger, and many more, fool, you know what I'm saying? A true neighborhood hero. Passed away in a car accident. So he died like the Call of Duty owner? And you know the crazy thing is, Big Joe? They both was in LA. Wow. RP to them both, man.
His compositions knew exactly when to be chaotic, when to be playful, and when to pull back and let a moment breathe. Even years later, hearing just a few notes from those shows can instantly transport people back to sitting in front of the TV after school, completely immersed in those worlds. Another important part of his legacy is the recognition he earned in an industry that often overlooks animation music. Guy Moon received multiple Emmy nominations during his career, particularly for The Fairly OddParents. That kind of acknowledgement isn't common for children's television, and it sent a clear message that animation music requires real craftsmanship. His nominations helped reinforce the idea that music in cartoons isn't filler. It's a storytelling tool that deserves the same respect as any live-action score. What many people don't realize is that Guy Moon's talent extended far beyond cartoons. In addition to animation, he contributed music to major films like Minority Report and Fight Club. These projects exist in a completely different creative space, yet he was able to adapt effortlessly. That range says a lot about him as a composer. Whether the tone was light and silly or dark and intense, he understood how music shapes emotion and drives storytelling, no matter the genre. Beyond the industry credits and awards, his music became deeply personal to fans. For a lot of people, Guy Moon's work played during some of the most ordinary but meaningful moments of childhood. lazy afternoons, early mornings before school, weekends spent watching cartoons with siblings or friends. After his passing, fans shared stories saying they didn't know his name until now, but they knew his music by heart. That kind of connection doesn't come from chasing trends. It comes from creating something honest that people grow up with. And perhaps the most lasting part of his influence is the way it continues to inspire others. Colleagues and collaborators spoke about Guy Moon not only as a gifted composer, but as someone who genuinely loved his craft and the people he worked with. His family expressed gratitude for the overwhelming response from fans who were touched by his work. Today, young composers and animators still study his music to learn how timing, energy, and emotion can completely transform a scene. His influence didn't end with his passing. It lives on through the creators he inspired. In the end, Guy Moon's story is a reminder that some of the most important voices in entertainment work quietly behind the scenes. He didn't appear on screen, but his music shaped how stories felt and how memories were formed. His work brought joy, excitement, and comfort to millions of people, often without them ever realizing who was responsible. Though he's no longer with us, his music continues to live on, in reruns, in playlists, and in the memories of everyone who grew up with it. Guy Moon may be gone, but the feelings his music created will stay with us for a very long time.